Picture this, you're living the high life. Luxury hotels, fine dining, private jets. Every day feels like a scene from a movie where you are the star, basking in opulence and grandeur. The bills? Astronomical. But you don't worry. You claim you're an heiress with a $60 million trust fund. Money is no object, or so you say. That was the fantasy one woman spun. She created an illusion so convincing that it fooled everyone around her. The reality? The trust fund was a lie, the fortune pure fiction, and the debts very real. She was living on borrowed time and borrowed money. For months, she fooled some of the smartest people in finance and high society, leaving behind a trail of unpaid bills. Her charm and confidence were her greatest assets. This isn't a movie plot. It's a true story of ambition, deception, and the power of a convincing lie. A tale that seems too outrageous to be real, yet it is. She convinced banks, hotels, and wealthy friends she was someone she wasn't, living a dream life on credit she could never repay. Her audacity knew no bounds. The audacity is staggering, selling a complete fabrication, day after day, without blinking. She navigated through life with a confidence that was both mesmerizing and dangerous. Her weapon wasn't a gun or a computer virus. It was her story. A story so compelling that it blurred the lines between reality and fiction. Designer clothes, confident talk about her family's airline empire. People wanted to believe. They were drawn to the allure of her fabricated world. It's a cautionary tale about the allure of wealth and how the desire to be close to it can blind us to the truth. We often see what we want to see. How did she do it? How did one person build such an elaborate house of cards? The answer lies in her meticulous planning and understanding of human nature. Tonight, we dive into the mind of a master manipulator. We'll uncover the psychological tricks she used to deceive so many. We'll explore her methods and why so many fell for her act. What made her lies so believable? This story forces us to question our own judgment and the nature of trust. How easily can we be deceived? How do we separate fact from fiction when the fiction is so convincing? It's a challenge we all face in a world full of deception. The tale of this fake heiress is more than a headline. It's a lesson in critical thinking. It teaches us to look beyond the surface. It exposes vulnerabilities in the systems we rely on every day. Systems that are supposed to protect us but can be easily manipulated. Are we as good at spotting lies as we think? Let's find out. Let's delve into the story of a woman who turned deception into an art form. This is the story of Anna Delvey, a story that will make you question everything you thought you knew about trust and deception. So, who was this woman? What was the truth behind the mask she wore so convincingly? She wasn't a secret royal, nor the daughter of a billionaire tycoon. The reality was far more relatable and perhaps even more surprising. Her real name was Anna Sorokin. She was born in a modest Moscow suburb, the daughter of a truck driver, and later moved with her family to Germany in search of a better life. There was no airline fortune, no secret trust fund, just a simple, unremarkable upbringing in small apartments and quiet neighborhoods. But Anna was ambitious and intelligent. She dreamed of a life filled with art, fashion, and the kind of influence she saw in glossy magazines and movies. After internships in London and Berlin, she finally landed at a Paris fashion magazine. It was there, surrounded by glamour and possibility, that her new identity began to take shape. Anna Sorokin became Anna Delvey, a name that sounded aristocratic, mysterious, and just foreign enough to intrigue the elite. She told stories of her father being a diplomat or an oil executive, always hinting at immense, almost unimaginable wealth. Piece by piece, she built a character, practicing her lines, refining her accent, and perfecting her performance until it was second nature. For Anna, it wasn't just about money. It was about status, acceptance, and belonging to a world she'd only ever dreamed of. Reinvention became her shortcut to the top, a way to bypass the barriers that held ordinary people back. Anna Sorokin was ordinary. Anna Delvey, however, could be anyone she wanted, and she chose to be rich, powerful, and unforgettable. That was the beginning of her con, a transformation that would soon captivate and deceive an entire city. Reinventing herself wasn't enough. Anna knew she needed to become someone unforgettable, someone who would be talked about in the city's most exclusive circles. Anna needed a believable narrative, one that would open doors and spark curiosity wherever she went. Her masterstroke was the Anna Delvey Foundation, an exclusive private club and art space set in a historic New York building, promising a haven for the city's elite and creative minds. She created glossy pitch decks, name-dropped famous artists, and painted a vision of a cultural hub that everyone wanted to be part of. The project became her calling card, a ticket into the world of high society and influential circles. The foundation gave her a reason to mingle with bankers, lawyers, and real estate moguls, and to ask for millions, all while appearing legitimate. She wasn't just a socialite, she was a visionary entrepreneur, pitching herself as the next big thing in New York's cultural scene. Her story about being an airline heiress was clever, grand, but hard to verify, and it added an irresistible air of intrigue. By claiming her family's business was in Germany, she made her background mysterious and exclusive, just out of reach for most to confirm. She surrounded herself with the right people, attended the right parties, and always made sure she was seen in the company of the influential. She built credibility by association, letting others fill in the blanks of her story with their own assumptions. Each new connection became another layer of her carefully constructed brand, making her seem even more established and untouchable. She built her reputation not with money, but with social capital, and for a while, it worked brilliantly. Anna's deception relied on more than just a story, it was a performance. She dressed in understated designer brands, signaling old money, not flash. Her wardrobe was her first line of attack. She used technology to back up her lies, fake emails from family office staff, forged financial documents, even a voice-changing app to impersonate her own manager. She was generous with other people's money, treating friends to lavish trips and tipping hotel staff with crisp hundreds. This generosity made people feel indebted and less likely to question her. Her greatest weapon? Unshakable confidence. When confronted with unpaid bills, she acted annoyed, blaming banks or advisors, never showing fear. Her audacity was disarming. No one believed someone could be so bold unless they were legitimate. Every move reinforced her image as a wealthy heiress. The illusion was nearly perfect. Anna Delvey's story echoes another infamous scammer, Elizabeth Holmes of Theranos. Holmes promised revolutionary blood tests. Delvey promised a world-class art foundation. Both sold dreams, not realities, and convinced powerful people with their conviction. Holmes wore black turtlenecks, channeling Steve Jobs. Delvey wore high fashion, channeling old money. Both understood that image is everything. Perception becomes reality. Their personal brands were their greatest assets. What set them apart was their unwavering self-belief. They seemed to believe their own lies, making them even more convincing. Holmes fooled Silicon Valley. Delvey fooled New York's elite. Their stories show how a compelling narrative and total confidence can override skepticism. In the end, both built empires on fiction. All scams eventually unravel, and Anna's was no exception. The first cracks appeared when banks demanded real proof of her assets for a $22 million loan. Her forged documents and stalling tactics failed. Fortress Investment Group pulled out. Then came the infamous Morocco trip. Anna's cards were declined, and her friend Rachel Williams was left with a $62,000 bill. The friendship shattered, and Williams went to the police. Hotels grew suspicious as Anna racked up unpaid bills, getting kicked out and locked out of luxury suites. Her moves became desperate, dining and dashing, switching hotels, running out of options. Law enforcement pieced together complaints from friends, hotels, and banks. In 2017, Anna Sorokin was arrested in a sting operation. The fantasy was over. The heiress was exposed as a con artist. Her story had reached its inevitable end. Anna's arrest sent shockwaves through the circles she'd infiltrated. Friends felt betrayed, not just financially, but emotionally. The witty, generous friend they knew was a fabrication. Institutions scrambled to recover losses and repair reputations, forced to confront their own vulnerabilities. The case became a media sensation. Some admired her audacity, others condemned her as a parasite. Her trial was a spectacle, with Anna still curating her image in court. For victims like Rachel Williams, the emotional scars ran deeper than the financial loss. The story is a stark reminder. Behind every scam are real people left to pick up the pieces. Why do people fall for scams like Anna's? Confirmation bias plays a big role. We see what we want to see. Once people believed Anna was an heiress, her actions made sense through that lens. Our fascination with wealth and status makes us want to believe in glamorous stories. Anna exploited the halo effect. Her style and confidence made people assume she was trustworthy. Most of all, humans are wired for narrative. A good story is more persuasive than facts. Anna didn't just ask for money, she sold a dream. People wanted to be part of her story. That's the power of a well-told lie. The fake heiress story is more than a bizarre scam. It's a mirror. It reflects our obsession with wealth, our love of a good story, and the fragility of the systems we trust. Anna Delvey showed that sometimes all it takes is a convincing lie and total confidence. In a world of curated realities, we all tell stories about ourselves. Anna just took it to the extreme. Her story is a reminder to look beyond the surface and question the narrative. Skepticism isn't cynicism, it's survival. The responsibility to stay vigilant falls on all of us. Ask questions, check sources, trust your instincts. There will always be new Anna Delveys. Our best defense is critical thinking. Thanks for watching. Stay curious and stay skeptical.